The massive creek fire in Central California is burning out of control. The fire is burning in the mountains east of Fresno. Authorities rescued 142 people yesterday who were trapped by the flames. Rescue officials were forced to make 8 rescue trips yesterday alone. The creek fire is more than 163,000 acres and is 0% contained. The fire has destroyed more than 80 structures, including 60 homes. Thousands of homes are threatened and under evacuation orders. As the creek fire continues to burn, KSBY's Rob Schiff met up with one Shell Beach resident who was evacuated as the fire was just beginning to spread.
Huntington Lake is less than 300 miles from right here in Shell Beach. It's a trip that Margie Valine normally takes this time of year to spend a weekend at her friend's cabin. But this time it was in and out for Valine because of a fire that continues to spread.
We got a knock on the door from a ranger that said you guys might want to think about getting started to pack up. And then a little while later they came back and said, this has jumped to over 1,000 acres. Look like it's really going to go, so you might want to go now.
And that's what Valine did. By 10:30 in the morning on Saturday, she was headed back home. She snapped these photos on her way out of Huntington Lake just hours after getting there.
I think they did a really good job of evacuating early so that they could get in there and really take care of things.
4 days later, they're still at it. Firefighters working around the clock to try and limit the spread. Retired Deputy Cal Fire Chief Eric Cleveland says it's typical for brush fires to burn this quickly, like the Thomas Fire in 2017, but that normally isn't the case with wood.
Timber typically doesn't burn that fast because it burns so slow and intense, but this thing's cranked out 170,000 in 3 days, so there's a lot of fuel behind it.
Cleveland says when he still worked for Cal Fire, a lot of the Sierra Nevada range had about 40 dead pine trees per acre. And when you combine this fire with the other fires occurring throughout the state, Cleveland says the biggest problem is having enough manpower.
Right now you've got 7 major fires going on in the state. Resources are already extremely thin, and then everybody's already been working for 21 straight days. And typically at 21 days we would have tried to rotate personnel out, but you don't have enough people left behind to put them on the road, still cover the stations here, and provide them the relief when they get up there. So everybody's just kind of locked in place.
I asked Cleveland if there's any way to predict how big this fire can actually get. He says it's really too early to tell because of the terrain in that part of the state. He says rainfall would be the best thing right now to limit the spread. In Shell Beach, Rob Schiff, KSBY News.
The Bobcat fire has burned more than 10,000 acres in the Angeles National Forest. Sparked on Sunday, it nearly doubled in size on Monday and again on Tuesday. The fire is burning through areas that haven't been scorched in more than 60 years. Firefighters have not reached any containment. The fire threatened buildings, but it's not clear if any were damaged or destroyed. No injuries have been reported. The cause of that fire is under investigation. More evacuation orders and warnings in Northern California as heavy wind causes the Bear Fire to flare up. Evacuation orders were expanded overnight to Yuba and Butte counties. The Bear Fire is part of the North Complex Fire. A lightning strike sparked the North Complex Fire in mid-August. It's now burned more than 58,000 acres and is just 37% contained.
All 18 national forests in California are now closed because of the fires as of 5 p.m. today. The closure decision will be re-evaluated daily as conditions change. The Forest Service says it is critical that all Californians and national forest visitors follow these restrictions for their own safety and the safety of our firefighters.
Right now, Santa Barbara police are on the hunt for a possible gunman suspected of shooting a man at a motel. Santa Barbara police say the investigation started when a man arrived at the Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital with a gunshot wound. Officers say evidence led them to the Sunset Motel on State Street. The motel was evacuated and a SWAT team arrived to make sure there was not a threat. We spoke with a hotel guest who says she was awake when the gunshots rang out.
And about 10 minutes to 5, I hear this pop, pop. And I knew it sounded like a gunshot wound, and I did not have my TV on. So I mean, it was very distinct and it was very quiet. I didn't hear anybody yelling or screaming, and I was waiting for that. And then I thought, wow, what do I do? So I'm just gonna lay still here. And then I thought, should I call the police? And then I thought, well, if I heard it, I'm sure the others heard it here in the hotel, because it was very loud.
Police say no arrests have been made.
Now to the latest. San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties are reporting dozens of newly confirmed cases of coronavirus. San Luis Obispo County added 26 new cases today. The county's total is over 3,100. 10 people are hospitalized, 3 in the ICU. 226 people are recovering at home. 2,900 have recovered and 22 people have died in San Luis Obispo County. Santa Barbara County is reporting 51 new cases today and 2 new deaths. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to more than 8,500. 39 people are hospitalized, 13 are in the ICU. A total of 99 county residents have died. In the last 24 hours, 2 Cal Poly students who live on campus tested positive for COVID-19. The university says only 1 other on-campus student tested positive for the virus. Cal Poly provides testing through its campus health office. So far, they've given a total of 1,085 tests.
San Luis Obispo County remains under the highest level of restrictions from the state because of the number of positive cases of COVID-19 locally. During a press conference today, Public Health Officer Dr. Penny Bornstein encouraged more people to get tested. She also responded to concerns about the number of Cal Poly students returning to the area and not following guidelines.
I am talking every day with upper management and leadership of Cal Poly. They are extremely tuned into this. They recognize that what happens amongst the Cal Poly community affects our general community, and they are being very aggressive in their actions with students who are not following the rules.
Borenstein also talked about new standards for schools to be able to hold athletic practices. Competitions of any kind, though, are still not allowed.
And tonight we're learning the Paso Robles Recreation Department as well as library services could be cut. KSBY News reporter Alexa Bertola looked into what this means for the city.
During Tuesday's meeting, the Paso Robles City Council is set to discuss the budget again. Now, this could mean cuts to dozens of programs like aquatics, youth sports, and concerts in the park. The city of Paso Robles says it's working to make up revenue losses caused by the pandemic.
So we directed staff at our last city council meeting to go back again and see what the impacts of cutting between another $1.5 and $2.5 million from the operating budget would mean.
This means the recreation department and the library could be next to go.
To deem Parks and Recreation as non-essential is absolutely ludicrous.
Last year, approximately 8,000 youth were registered for recreation programs. The city collaborates with over 40 instructors and business owners who provided more than 5,000 classes during the 2018-2019 fiscal year. David Rogers has been teaching karate with the city for the last 15 years.
We need all types of activities and outlets for our mental health. Mind, body, and spirit.
Vanessa Orr is a yoga instructor with Paso Rec Services. Her 2- and almost 5-year-old also take part in the programs that are now in jeopardy.
We have taken a lot of the Cali Kid fitness classes, and those are something really fun to look forward to. It would just be such a bummer to miss out on all of those fun activities.
The senior center is also on the line.
If we can't generate more income, then don't just say that the non-essentials can just be thrown away, because these seniors cannot be overlooked.
The city's general fund budget for this year is $46 million. Of that, only $1.1 million is earmarked for recreation services and $1.25 million for library services.
Roughly 25 full-time and part-time staff could be impacted. In June through August of this year, Recreation Services was able to offer 44 classes for the community with COVID-19 precautions in place. And a vote could happen during Tuesday's meeting, but at this point, a decision has not been made. In Paso Robles, Alexa Bertola, KSBY News.
And the city says to maintain operations, it's already had to take $7 million a year for the next 2 years out of the general fund expenditures, plus $5.5 million per year for the next 2 years out of reserves.
In Templeton, the city's Rec Foundation is raising money to keep their recreation programs going. The Keeping the Dream barbecue is set for Saturday, September 26th from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Templeton Community Center parking lot. They will be selling tri-tip meals. Tickets cost $45. You can find the link to buy tickets on our website, ksby.com. And we wanted to let you know about some programming changes for tomorrow, this Thursday. KSBY is airing a special edition newscast at 3 p.m. The NFL kickoff starts at 4:30. And then following the game, you can catch a special edition newscast at 8:30.
Melissa Newman will join us in just a few minutes with her full microclimate weather forecast. But first, here's a look at Shell Beach from earlier today, thanks to surfline.com. And coming up, Los Angeles advises against trick-or-treating this year, leaving many wondering what might happen right here on the Central Coast.